I was looking forward to talking to Gully and bringing Gully on here. I met Gully a while ago through Big Oo. Shout out to Big Oo. You know what I mean? That we mentioned earlier. And I met Gully because I actually did an interview on his platform, and I wanna talk about just Gully and what he does. Tell him what it is that you do on Gully TV. What is Gully TV?
Shit, Dev said I'd be in the trenches.
I mean, you already know though.
Hip hop, sports, and fashion. That's what my platform is predicated upon. I started out as a DVD. I feel that I take hip hop passionately. I never left the DVD realm. I just basically took my DVD brand show to the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're before, because that's one thing that I heard, and one thing that I like to mention. You're before Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah,
all
way
this
before that.
other stuff. Because
Way before that.
Because when I got wind of you, and when Big Oo told me you was around and you did some stuff, I had already heard the name Gully TV. And when I politic with a couple of my homies real quick, because I be around some guys that, from the trenches, been through some real things. And I mentioned your name. I was like, yo, I'm about to do this interview with Gully TV. And instantly, my one man, rest in peace, God bless his soul, my man Airport, he was like, yeah, I fucks with Gully TV. He was like, Gully TV just did Sean Branch from D.C., who's like a notorious street legend and someone who, just has a big story to tell where he's from and where he's at. And definitely just certified that part. Like, like Gully TV is official. He's known for that. Wah. And that's how me and you, kicked it off and broke the ice.
No doubt. Yeah, I was introduced to you by Big Oo. That encounter that we had, that's something that I became, known for visiting guys who are particularly on the rise in their city. I recognize you as a professional. Somebody has to have qualifications to sit in front of my camera, first of all.
Right.
Yeah, I get out there and despite me covering accomplished, celebrities,
Right.
I get out there and really, really pursue who's the next hot guy from different regions. I don't have no home base. I be all over the place. The dribble is spectacular. You know what I mean? It's a traveling road show. And yeah, I encountered you because you was actually putting in work. Again, it requires some qualifications to get before my camera.
And how do you keep up on who's buzzing, who's popping, who's
strictly out of the love of hip hop? I be online. I be in the chat rooms. I facilitate my own chat room. I got my own blog outside of me doing actual media. I write. I'm a journalist by trade. I actually, before cameras, I write. That's what I do. I'm a writer. I started out, Gully TV started out as me being a ghostwriter for a lady named Vicky Stringer. Back when you remember when the black books exploded? They was on the street corners, right next to the mixtapes.
Right.
You would walk through and all of the books would be there.
Right.
Anyway, this is like the early 2000s. Those books became popular. I was amongst maybe like 4 or 5 incarcerated authors. Shannon Holmes was one of them. Myself and George Teague, who wrote The Legendary Dutch. Pretty sure you probably read that.
Yeah, Dutch is a good book.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was an incarcerated author. I got in position from I wrote a book first independently. I was selling it in Source magazine, and I started to send like snippets out to whatever publisher that I could find an address for. Simon and Schuster and
Okay.
Terry Woods, who was big, huge at the time. As I'm doing this, I'm getting an education actually in self-publishing because I'm learning that you can't go and step to a actual publisher. You need what's called a literary agent. So I didn't have a literary agent. I was sending out, excerpts from prison. They coming right back and they explaining to me why they declining my submissions. Triple Crown Publications out of Columbus, Ohio, they gave me a shot. I'm still sending out submissions to anybody who's popping. Like if I got my hands on your book while I was incarcerated, I would look at the publisher's address and and send you what I had. While this is going on, I'm in Source Magazine selling a book independently. So I'm grinding basically from jail. Vicky Stringer, she took a liking to my writing style, and I ended up finding out exactly what it was that her company did. She ran a publishing company, but she was out in the community and in the prison systems soliciting and looking for people who was writing. When I got to her, she signed me to a book deal, and she signed me to a ghostwriting deal. I should have known that when she paid me more for ghostwriting that I was never gonna be able to publish a book. She basically paid me to shelve myself
Right.
and become her ghostwriter. So
And she knew that it was gems behind the wall. She knew
Absolutely.
that she knew that there'd be like hidden, like there'd be scholars who made mistakes.
it was
obvious in
other
their life.
people doing the same thing that I was doing. You know, you got somebody in jail who had wrote a book. Guys was trying to bust moves, so they sending it.
I mean, they
You know
have
what I
all
mean?
the
Like,
source material from living out the experiences. So it's like, it's not so much you have to imagine. You can kind of recall and rename people and things like that. Yeah, so.
it's true. If you know what I mean, just do the knowledge on a lot of those books that people. George Teague is doing Life, I believe,
Right.
who wrote the Dutch series. You know somebody that's that gifted in writing. You know that's a bomb ass book.
Right.
They have to be. I hate to say it, somewhere perfecting they dribble, and he happened.
Nah,
to be
absolutely,
being
man. Shout out to the brother.
incarcerated.
Shout out to the brother. Al Sadiq Banks. He wrote Block Party. I know you're probably familiar
Yeah,
with Block Party.
yeah.
He's a Jersey native, and he's another author who just probably had. I know he got a story of his own to tell, but I think when it just comes from that real place, people are able to do it and really
Right.
touch the people. They could kind of relate to it. But besides, so journalism, street legends. You also got a passion for sports. Let's get into your because I know you got your thing is called a little AKA for your thing is called the dribble. You got a new tat, right?
Yeah, I got Dribble God tattooed on my head.
Yeah. So you lit at.
That's my name.
Yeah.
That's what I became. I met Shaquille O'Neal recently. We got a chance to kick it.
Nice.
And I knew that once I made it to Shaquille O'Neal from prison,
Right.
I knew that I left Earth. You know what I'm saying? So I earned this tat on my head.
And you've also interviewed some other NBA.
Oh man, everybody. Steve Francis, God, Sham God, all the street ball guys. Skip to my Lou. And I don't know why I'm stumbling right now. I've interviewed lottery picks in the NBA. You just have to look it up.
Right.
That's due to me being a former basketball player. The whole dribble cliche that come from me being a former basketball player. And as I was building my company, as I was trying to get me a facility like this, I had a habit of saying, man, I got to get my dribble right. You know what I'm saying? So as one camera turned to two cameras, I'm getting my dribble right.
See, I got my dribble right in this
what I mean?
facility, but not on the basketball court. Porter knows I'm trash.
Yeah, Dev will hack the shit out you.
Yeah, I just
Right.
fouled the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Yeah.
as I'm doing that, I'm like, damn, man, I gotta go ahead, just go ahead and totally maximize this whole everything, man. I'm a basketball player. You see how you have toys here, you have toys on the wall. Obviously, that come from a special place inside of you. That's a part of you, right? I'm a basketball player. I've been a basketball player all my life. Before I was attracted to girls, I love basketball. You know what I'm saying? Before anything, it's always been basketball. I don't speak no other language. I'm excellent at having discussions on the history of basketball, and I happen to be able to play. I'm a Pennsylvania prison basketball legend. I ended up getting in trouble. I done had scholarships. I went to prep school, all of that. But, all my highlights was in jail when I was writing those books. You know what I'm saying? I was playing basketball. So I've been a basketball player my whole life. It's something that totally interests me, and I think it's cool. I happen to live two lifestyles. I've been a street guy, a drug dealer, and I've been a basketball player. It's kind of like the same. A basketball player and a street a drug dealer, they're superstars. A basketball player is a superstar, bro. Anybody who's ever achieved any type of notoriety or success for basketball, he'll tell you the world is given to him. Word. So I equate, the dribble with hustle and, breaking records. And if you look at my resume and media, it's right there. I got an excellent dribble. I've carried it all around the world. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So somebody else that's going to be, I guess, carrying it around the world. I was informed by these guys about J. Cole.
Oh, yes.
And his situation with him, signing to his African basketball team.
Yeah, it's like an African league. And he's actually the first rapper to be on the cover of Slam. So I wanted to kind of like chat with you to see, like, how do you feel about that?
This is so dope that y'all bringing this up. I just posted this video on my Instagram page. He dunked. He a crazy dunk.
Yeah, he did.
I think J. Cole is going to, I know basketball players. J. Cole is going to be successful, bro, in basketball. Where that league that he signed up in, he's going to be successful. This isn't nothing that just happened. The whole time he been rapping, he been always uploading videos, shooting jumpers.
Right.
You can't break somebody. You can't tear that from someone. That's who he is.
Right.
And he's good at it.
Yeah, people think that people are one thing when that's just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? People are multi-talented. You know what I'm saying?
You might have two gifts.
Yeah.
And it's a special gift. Everybody isn't blessed with it. And if you have this particular gift, it's going to take you places. I believe J. Cole is definitely going to be successful. He's I believe 6'4" or better. He might be 6'5" or something like that. He can shoot. He can dunk the ball. And he's passionate. He's given anybody that's given that opportunity, they're going to try to die on that court. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah, absolutely. When Wally told me, because that was a great just a piece to add to this segment and get your like feedback on that for like a rapper to really say, and a successful rapper to say, and that says a lot about passion to me. When a successful rapper says, hey, I'm gonna put this to the side for a minute, regardless of what happens with my rap career.
Right.
If I die out, if whatever, my fans leave.
Right.
Because I want to try this passion.
Right.
I'm about to go hand with this passion, and it's not even about money. It's about being happy. And Gully, you spoke on that, and I respect that, and that's how I know you and Dev can kind of like relate to just your passions for things, because I know you also got a passion for like a lot of like throwback apparel. Designers and things of that nature, because I tap into the dribble and I fucks with it, and I be on what what you do. Gully TV. Gully says a lot. Gully is like it's Gully to my knowledge is no hairs on your tongue, speaking your mind on a lot of different things and different issues that we have and that we see going around like in our culture, in our world that we live in, and I want to tap into that side of Gully because I wanted to speak about your professionalism first and just really, make sure that the people know that he's a professional. The first thing I want to talk about is the Asian hate versus like the black hate. I know that was a big thing when that hit the fan with like the Asians going through things, and they wanted like, I think they was looking for, certain people were looking for like support, and you had something to say about that.
First, I'd like to say rest in peace to the Asians that lost their life in that tragedy in Atlanta. Right, I think it was 6 people who was killed.
Yeah.
When that happened, a lot of people started to post on social media, "Stop Asian Hate," and I felt that was, although, I empathize with what happened, and I wish it didn't happen, that was only 6. You know what I'm saying? That was only 6 bodies. You can go through any calendar year and the police kill more than that.
Right. Children,
unarmed. We've seen one recently, a child, he was 13 in Chicago. He had his hands in the air. So, everybody calling us to support the Asians in their time of need. Black people been getting slaughtered for about over 500 years. And correct. I thought that, I'm not against the Asians. They colored people. I feel they people of color just like me. But I love my people. I do. I shouldn't be feel. I shouldn't be made to feel like I said anything wrong. all I said on social media was stop black hate. I mean that. It's too much. It's an issue that we have to deal with before we can assist our Asian brothers in their struggle, in their fight, for liberation and equality. We need some assistance too, and I'm totally concerned about my people. And again, my fight isn't against the Asians. I hope they do get what they're looking for. I want Asian hate. I want hate of all people to cease.
Absolutely.
But in my opinion, nobody comes before us. And I shouldn't be under attack for saying that. When this video come out, nobody should be in the comments saying anything negative about me being concerned with my people.
Right.
So that's
And
just what it is.
I think you made a great point. And again, I think because these issues be so just sensitive, and when you speak out the way you speak out, Gully TV, and you spoke out like that, some people just don't know how to take it. But even like I said, shout out to Ben Baller, who's from some type of Asian descent himself, and he even spoke out on it and said the same thing as you said. He was pretty much on the same side. Like, no, we need to come out when things are happening to the black community and to the black people as well.
Okay, like fast forward to the present, we just became aware of the fact that the Asian community gave contributions allegedly to the Proud Boys organization and some other extremist organizations. So again, these organizations are against people of color, and if they supporting them,
Right.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So I want to always
and what
be careful.
I just said about allegedly they gave contributions, you can look that up online.
So that's another thing that why it gets so difficult when you talking about these situations. We always want to talk about these situations on the shows is, so the same problem that we go through as black people, when they say we killing each other. Remember I talked about that before. We killing each other. I'm not killing nobody. So I'm not a part of the we. I understand that there's a whole demographic here, but there's a whole bunch of people that's not.
Right.
So also when you're dealing with talking about the Asian community, if we say they supported this, not all of them support that.
Right.
A lot of them, to be honest, they kind of meek and just put their head down. So how we will stand up for ourselves somewhat? Their kind of culture here anyway is they kind of put their head down. It's kind of like you're smacked in the head, keep your head down. We just not like that. So I don't want to say necessarily that the whole, you understand? I understand.
Oh
that
yeah,
there's
no
people-
doubt. Let's make that understood and clear.
Yeah.
It's not everybody.
Right. So that's where this is always gets difficult when people put up, look, man, y'all got to worry about us. You know what I'm saying? Because it is true. And it is true that when all that stuff is going around and you look around, you don't see that community as a whole. If you was to look at it on a grand scale, you don't see them out there. But what I will say is this. How I move isn't dictated on how somebody else move necessarily. So just because I got a homie that get pushed around and he don't know how to stand up for himself, don't mean that I won't stand up or say something on his behalf. Because he, so I don't want to say soft, but you feel what I'm saying? I still might be like, look, he not built like that, but I'm a, you know what I mean? The same way that I would stand up for women or anybody else that appears weaker at the time. You know what I mean? I think just culturally, they don't. What's funny is, I think it's one of those things like, since they don't get that outright hate that we got, sometimes people hope that they gonna have a seat at that table. Might be the reason why.
They got a seat at the table.
I get it. And what you saying is some people might, and what you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you saying like, kind of like an example would be like some people probably kind of look at it like if it was just like, now it's the second group of people that's being bullied after the, and they looking at it like, well, fuck, if they couldn't fuck it, they can't do nothing about this shit. The fuck we gonna do? And
people start taking whatever scraps they could get. You see it in all different cultures, bro. They go through that shit with light-skinned Indians and dark-skinned ones. Like crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Light-skinned Puerto Ricans and darker-skinned Puerto Ricans all the time.
I hear that shit too.
It's a crazy scenario, but I definitely see your outlook on it, and I definitely understand and respect what you mean.
And I think the most important part is the fact that you get on your platform and you say what you got to say.
When I said that, I lost I think, because I checked my analytics, I think I lost 130 Instagram followers the day I said that.
Do you believe?
I didn't say anything negative about Asian people. I just said that we probably need to worry about ourselves. That's what I said.
Yeah. And I understand that if you make it simple, it would be like if something was going on in the neighbor's house, but you got a bunch of turmoil in your house.
Yeah.
And you literally are looking at it like, man, I'm trying to worry about my family. I understand what's going on over there. But
You gotta fix this
I
first.
gotta fix this. You feel what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying, bro.
And we mentioned that here before about just Puerto Ricans, you know, when we mentioned like an example, like if you see something wrong with the black people, you see them being unjust, inequality type shit, say something. Because when it's your turn, God forbid if it's ever your turn, your group of people turn, you gonna want motherfuckers to say something.
Word.
Often, if it means something, our people don't say anything. And that's why I feel that I was anointed with a platform because I was raised a certain way. So if I feel that it's right, I'm gonna die with that.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Well, let's get into my next piece before we get into some of our stuff because we like to mix this up with how we do it here at the Devin Wade Show. But we want to talk about you right now. And now that we speaking on just besides the like Asian hate and you speaking on things of that nature and just how you feel about stuff like that with other issues that's going on, you also speak on our issues and issues with our own community and within ourselves. And one of the most recent issues that I seen you speak on, I believe, but it's been an issue anyway. The topic been an issue anyway, but it was a topic about checking in.
Let's get to that.
Yeah, checking in. It was a topic
Let's
about
get to it.
It was about checking in, and I believe it. You know, I think some music came out of something.
Yeah,
you spoke on it, and we've been speaking about. We spoke on it before here because it's like a thing where, like, I guess in certain areas, certain people require, and I'm not too familiar with it, so I want to bring it to the platform so we can speak on it. But what's the whole checking in thing?
This is my understanding of it. There's a song came out. It was advertised on Instagram. It was a song. Snoop Dogg was singing the hook. It said check. It was called Check In, and I believe Too Short is on this song, and Big U was in the video, and they were all grinning and singing this hook, Check In. They said something like, if you want to make it home safe, you better check in. Okay.
Toxic.
Toxic is a motherfucker, man.
Come on,
For grown
son.
men. You threatening people that you're selling a song to. I'm serious.
No.
Like,
Nah,
you just threaten somebody on a song, like, if you want to make it home safe, you better check in. This is what you saying to black people out of all of the shit that's going on with us. Children being shot,
Let me ask you
murdered
something,
by
Gully.
gang members.
Gully, let me ask you something. If Tom Cruise fly in there, do he gotta check in?
Absolutely not.
If Matthew McConaughey come, do he gotta check
They're
in?
not
Nope.
gonna go around them white folks with that bullshit because they know they're gonna get arrested. White people coming to court and the whole nine. So, you know.
Can you explain really quick what check-in is? Because I think a lot of our viewers probably know what check-in is essentially. But if you can you break it down to our viewers?
My understanding of it is that if you're a celebrity and you got some business in Los Angeles, if you want to perform, do book signings, kick it. That you should check in with certain people so you be safe.
Only if you
there.
black, though.
Yeah, only if you black. You need a tour guide, basically. And you should do this if you want to make it home safe. This is a philosophy that's being served to the youth, people that look just like me and you, by adult black men. You know what I'm saying? This is being promoted in the communities by adult black men. And the underlying threat in it is that, I guess, you know, maybe they supported by gang power. These are gang organizations saying this. If you come here, you better check in with us or you might not make it home safe.
So you basically can't do business in their city without checking in.
It's kind of extortion.
It's some predatory shit.
And
how do you feel about that type of? Did you ever feel yourself? Did you ever go through that yourself physically?
I'm a loner by nature. I'm an introverted. I don't fuck with people. You can't keep track of somebody who hiding on purpose. So that's me.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's me. I take care of my business, and you know, I never felt that it applied to me. I just feel that it shouldn't be a topic. Why are you even saying that black people got all of these problems?
Right.
And you have the power of influence, obviously, because you're telling people to check in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, you feel you have some type of influence or say so. And this is how you decide to carry it.
And it doesn't make
2021.
sense because, all right, so we already got to be worried about being hunted by police. You know what I'm saying? You could be hunted by what they call today a Karen. You know, you could be in any situation like that where you got to worry about, in the Trayvon instance, where you got a random neighbor who plays cop.
Yep.
The last thing that I want to do is have somebody, especially somebody that I might even look up to in a celebrity world. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a young rapper, comedian, singer, actor, or whatever, and I might feel as though MC such and such, he's cool. I've always had posters of him. Now I make it when I come to his city. I have to reach out somehow to him to get permission, is what it is at the end of the day, to get permission or befriend him and stand next to him in pictures to show like I got the pass to come here. It's not the streets. I'm not coming to somebody's block to sell dope. It don't make sense. I'm singing songs or I'm doing stand-up comedy. You should be, instead of the check-in, in my opinion, you should be using your power to be instant security for the black person that's coming to that city. You feel what I'm saying? You should be more like, man, we gonna make sure homie all right regardless when he get here, because we need more of our entertainers staying alive, you know what I'm saying, earning money for their family. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, saving lives that's not the topic.
But
check in.
Let's get into this though. This is my thing on it, right? And this is why I wanted to like elaborate on it, because I want to chime in on it. And I grew up in the system, right? I grew up in the system since a juvenile, since like 13, in and out of jail. Group homes, Jamesburg twice, for Jersey motherfuckers that know what it is.
Hold on. Is that the place that from New Jersey Drive?
Probably so. Juvenile youth home. It's like a prison, first juvenile like prison.
Right,
yeah, I was down in 9-4, 9-6, way before I graduated to the adult system.
All right.
And so when I hear checking in, the first thing I think about is, because it never on the outside, that's why it may be like a West Coast LA thing, because on the outside, me in Jersey, being a Kansas City guy, Philadelphia, shit like that, like I never really like heard of that outside street guys conducting shit like that and conducting some shit like that. I never heard of it from there. I always knew checking in came from jail, and checking in came from prison and jail. And checking in was something that foul niggas had to do. A foul nigga had to check in, right? A nigga that either was in there for like rape, pedophile, snitch, a rat, you know, any of those type guys had to check in, right? These are the guys, they wasn't asking a good guy that's actually doing something positive and making some money and actually, you know, doing something for his community back home when he's traveling the world, doing his shows or whatever it is that he's doing, you know. It wasn't that. This was, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, yeah, I do feel as though it's ass backwards, and it's crazy. It's really like extortion. If I ain't no motherfucking rat, I done made it through the trenches honorably, right? Honorably, stripes on my shit, like well respected back home, the whole shit. Like, I just feel like, you know, I should be able to go anywhere on God's green earth when I ain't starting no trouble. I'm coming in peace. I'm coming to handle my business. You know what I mean? If I got some business to attend to in these areas. And like Dev said, if you or whoever, if a group of people, right? Because this the type shit I'm on, right? This what I want to do, right? Because I got power. I got some power back home. I got some power, South Jersey, Kansas City. I know some people. It is what it is. We talk about it all the time, right? I get phone calls about shit like that. Motherfuckers done called me a couple times saying, Rich, we need to start really like regulating around here and seeing what, you know what I mean? And I just tell people like, yo, look, I ain't mad at you because I don't judge people with their ideas, whatever they want to do. That's your boat, fly, you know, float it how you want. Me personally, that ain't my thing. I'm into other shit. But why don't we use that power like Dev said? Why we not making rats check in? Why are we not making these pedophiles that's in, because they in your communities. I'm quite sure if you go check with the local motherfucking schools and the daycares that get the motherfucking papers and all that type shit, you'll find out that they in your communities. You know, we're not worrying about people like that, the actual people that's really like toxic and poisonous to our communities. But we put the microscope on our own people when they reach a celebratory status, when they reach
A certain
status,
level of success.